and welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel, guys, where it is safe to say Barca's summer transfer window, it has exploded into life over these past few days. We are well and truly up and running now, and in today's video there's more to come. There is so much more on the way. We're going to be talking about Ousmane Dembele. We are going to be talking today about Bernardo Silva, and the biggest topic of all, yes, it is Neymar. Again, it's Neymar Jr. Because we're going to be talking about should Barca bring him back. We're going to be talking about could they bring him back. And I am going to be answering with full honesty, would I bring him back? It is all coming up. It is all coming your way. So let's do this. Because if we first of all pick up where we left off in yesterday's news roundup, and if you weren't there for that video, where have you been? What have you been doing? It was a crazy roundup yesterday, and we pick up where we left off right now on Ousmane Dembele, because Barca did indeed call Dembele back into training yesterday, and he flew back into Barcelona from Paris. He arrived indeed in the city for the evening training session, but the big surprise of the day was when he got there, when he went into training, Xavi personally decided to include Dembele with the rest of the group, with the rest of the team there, and not force him to train separately away from the team. And I was really, honestly, shocked to hear that. I did not expect here, Xavi, after everything that's happened, after everything here that almost got threw back in his face from Dembele, to ultimately say, welcome back, Ousmane. Just like nothing had happened. He's back in the group. He's back training with the team. And it was all water under the bridge. And that was so surprising there to see from Xavi. And I almost feel in my mind right now, guys, as though Xavi is still hoping Dembele could change his mind. In the final seconds here of the deal, in the final moments of it, Xavi is still hoping there's a tiny part of Dembele that might stay. And if that happened, Xavi would be more than willing to welcome him back into his squad. Although let's be clear right now, moving away from Xavi and actually behind the scenes at Barca into the Barca board, that is extremely unlikely, because Dembele's relationship with the board at Barca, well, that is completely and utterly broken beyond repair. And apparently right now at the club, they are said to be reading through Dembele's contract word for word, along with a legal team, to understand here and back up their belief that Dembele is not entitled to 50% of the transfer fee, because it's being reported right now that Barca are hoping in the end to get more like 35 million in this deal, not 25, but 35 in the end, and only then will Dembele's transfer to PSG be confirmed. So let's wait and see. Because then we do indeed have to move on to Bernardo Silva, because suddenly right now, guys, this is a deal that is looking very unlikely again, because a lot of reports have emerged today claiming that Bernardo Silva right now is actually closer to renewing with Man City, to signing a new contract there, rather than signing for Barca this summer. And it's being said right now that Barca only wanted to pay a maximum of 65 million euros, maybe 70 at a real push, but City are not interested for that kind of amount. They are not happy to receive offers of that value, and Barca don't want to go any higher. They do not feel as though they can afford to pay any more than that. They don't feel comfortable doing that. And my feeling is right now is that Xavi, all along, he's been desperate for Bernardo, going back even to the summer before now, of course. We know he's wanted him for such a long time, and I think the Barca board have tried to accommodate that. They've said, look, we want to give you what you need. We want to satisfy your demands. We'll try and get Bernardo, but we have a limit here. We can't just go and spend huge money that we don't even have just to satisfy the one dream of Xavi here. If it's not going to be possible for us financially, the deal cannot be done. And there have been rumours today that say that Bernardo went to Pep Guardiola and said, look, I want to leave, I want out of the club, I want to join Barca, and that Pep flatly rejected that, said, no, you're staying here, we are not going to sell you. But I don't really believe that, in all honesty, guys. Pep has always been somebody, a coach there, that only wanted committed players. He said it himself very recently. And I just feel like right now, this contract offer from Man City has arrived with Bernardo just when Barca haven't really been able to make any significant offer. They haven't been able to offer a huge amount there for him. And I just think Bernardo right now maybe has just got cold feet. I don't think he's looking to force his way out. I don't think he's really going to any lengths to make this deal possible. possible because he's worried maybe Barca can't even complete this deal. And as of right now, it is looking more likely he'll stay at City, that Xavi still won't get his man. And that brings us on to our next topic, because it is now time to talk about Neymar. And actually, for me right now, guys, looking into those Bernardo Silva reports, what is happening in that transfer situation, for me, that gives these Neymar rumours even more life. That brings them even more to the front of our mind right now. And that is why we have to discuss what is happening with him. Because yesterday we spoke about the claims there from Mabkout Al-Mari, who seems certain, let's not forget, absolutely certain, that Neymar will sign for Barca this summer. But we did say then, we want more sources to confirm. We want more people to be talking about this deal. And well, last night, Gerard Romero joined the party. He says the Neymar links are real. He says this is a situation right now that is ongoing in the background. Discussions between all parties have taken place over a loan deal, and that Neymar himself is so desperate to come back. He is so keen to make his return that he is willing to slash his wages by 60% to make the deal happen. Now, one of the key parts of any potential deal for Neymar, it's Pini Zahavi, who is not actually Neymar's agent, but have a look at this right here. This is a photo that Neymar posted on Instagram just a few days ago, and Zahavi there with him and his father. And it's very, very interesting given that Zahavi also happens to be a really good friend to Joan Laporta. Those two have a really good relationship because he was one of the key men in bringing Robert Lewandowski to the Camp Nou last summer. And it's being said that Zahavi himself could facilitate the deal between Neymar and Barca. He could be the middleman in that operation. And there are also plenty of people inside of Barca right now that want this deal to happen. There are plenty of people within the board who want Neymar to return. But the point still stands from yesterday's video, because there's one man that is sceptical. There's one man that isn't sure about Neymar right now, and that is Xavi. But what I would like to analyse first of all, guys, is why. Because I do have to be honest here. I am quite confused as to why Xavi is so against Neymar, why he cannot stand the thought of Neymar returning to Barca, and this is based off of Xavi's coaching character. Because just look at how supportive he's been of Ousmane Dembele. Just look at how much he loves him as a player, how loyal he's been to Dembele, and yet Neymar, he can't think about him in his team, because we know that Dembele at his best can be devastating. We know about the ability that's there, but we also know Dembele is extremely inconsistent. We know that he's had many injury problems, but yet Xavi loves him. Where is the same energy with Neymar? Because it seems as though Xavi has enjoyed the challenge of Dembele. He wants to get the best out of him. He's really thrived upon trying to do that every single game of the season. And I just think right now, is there no part of Xavi that looks at Neymar and thinks, that is a great challenge. That is a really exciting prospect, actually, that I could try and get the best out of him. I can make it all work in my team. And if I could, what a player I'd have. He would be a better player, at his best, no doubt, than Ousmane Dembele, a potentially game-changing player in my team. Why would I not try and make that work? Because look, guys, in terms of the style of play of Neymar, let's be very, very honest here and say we have not replaced him at left wing since he left. There's no doubt about that. Even now, it's a position that we lack depth in, we lack proven quality in that area, and it's not just about that left side either when it comes to Neymar potentially returning here that I'd look at, because actually, during his time at PSG, I would say his game has evolved. He's gained experience and understanding they're playing in different areas of the field, and Neymar is actually a player now who can also play on the inside. He is not too dissimilar on the ball, with the ball, than what Xavi would want from Bernardo Silva. Somebody there who can operate out wide, who can certainly be somebody who can be creative in wider areas, but they can come inside too. They can operate in central areas, and Neymar is very, very comfortable from the left and also down the middle. Something else to consider, though, guys, on this is that there are also plenty of non-footballing reasons behind Neymar's potential return here. And I'm thinking here about the Barca board and actually why they are on board with his return. Because when it comes to Neymar from an economic point of view, you think about marketing, you think about sponsorship, you think there about the Barca brand. We spoke about the kind of benefits of Messi returning to the club, don't forget, what that would have done for our finances. And although Neymar is not Messi, what you can't deny is he still remains one of the biggest names in football here today. And I would actually argue now he's an even bigger name because Messi and Ronaldo are now playing outside of Europe. Neymar is a player who can still generate enormous interest commercially and from fans, and the club are well aware of how they can tap into that. But of course, guys, what you cannot deny when it comes to Neymar is the injury record. I've already touched on it there, comparing it with Dembele. They are two very similar kinds of players when it comes to their injury concerns. And of course, as well with Neymar, there is the emotional side of things too. I know that many Barcelona fans, honestly, will never forgive him. And I understand that. If you are in that situation right now, and if you will never really be able to take Neymar back after the way that he left, I fully 100% get that. But now, let's talk about whether I would sign him. What is my honest thoughts then on Neymar returning to Barca? Because look, guys, if you asked me right now, would I sign Neymar for a big transfer fee, paying his full wages? No. Obviously, I wouldn't. Why would any of us do that? We simply would not. We're not in a position to do it. I'm glad that we're not. We're not that club anymore. We have moved well and truly on. But this is the thing about this deal, because we're not talking about buying Neymar, about spending millions and millions on him. We have to ask ourselves here, do the potential benefits of a player like Neymar outweigh the risks in signing him? Because don't forget, it's a loan deal that we're talking about. With Neymar accepting a huge pay cut, that is a whole different proposition. That is an entirely different deal. It's not something there that we'd be tied to. It's not something there that would even be particularly expensive for Barca. And if I'm being brutally honest right now, with the quality that he could produce, with the player that he can be, is he worth taking a risk on? Is he worth taking a chance on a loan deal? I think you'd have to say yes. I think you'd have to say, honestly, guys, he might well be. But on one condition, and this is very important, it's something I want to stress, not at the cost of our future. Because I do not want to see here the rumours of Neymar coming back at the expense of somebody like Abde or Ansu Fati, just because Neymar is arriving. Now, Ansu Fati's future was already up in the air. Maybe we were already thinking of selling him anyway, so they may not be connected. But I don't want Neymar's signing to directly affect other deals, like a right back, for instance, and other targets that we want to secure. For me, I would bring Neymar back as a bonus signing, as a wild card to bring into this team. I would bring him back on that basis, because I think he could be worth it. I think he is a gamble that is honestly worth taking in a team right now that lack match winners. They lack players in this team who can single-handedly decide a game. We need those players in our team to compete for the very biggest titles. And I would just ask you guys right now, honestly, and thinking as well here about Xavi, what is more of a risk to you? Signing Neymar on a loan deal, paying 40% of his wages, or spending 80 million, 90 million, 100 million euros on Bernardo Silva, who turns 29 years old in just a few days' time? Which for you is more of a risk? Because for me, Neymar actually looks like the safe option then. I would much rather take on that deal than go and spend huge money that we don't even have, on Bernardo Silva. And that is why Neymar is on the table. That is why there are people inside of the club who would welcome it. Xavi is not one of them. But if he shows any sign of changing his mind here, opening up to this Neymar deal at any point, this deal can accelerate. This deal can move very quickly. So from this moment on, watch this space. So please, guys, I would like to know in the comments down below right now your honest opinion on Neymar's return, because I know this is a topic that really does divide the Barca fan base. There are a lot of people that are in favour of him coming back, but there are also many people who do not want to see him return. So I want to know not only whether you would or you wouldn't want him to come back, but why? Let me know your opinions and your reasoning down below, and we'll be talking much more about this and much more about the Barca transfer window. Thank you indeed, guys, for joining me here today for all of the videos right now. I really do appreciate it. Let's see what happens next, and I will catch you very, very soon. But until next time, as always, Visca, Hail Barça!